All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Friday morning. Blessings to everybody in the name of Jesus the Messiah. I pray everybody is super blessed. We're going to be getting into this Bitcoin price action, guys. We are going to be getting into this juicy volatility, talk about what is going on. Guys, I just tweeted this stream on Twitter. Make sure to go over there right now. Follow me at Jason_Cather. Retweet this stream, guys. Let's make it a party in here. Maybe we can get 1,000 likes. If so, we'll be doing a Bitcoin giveaway live on the stream, guys. Stay tuned. We will be live momentarily. All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Friday morning, guys. Blessings to everybody in the name of the Messiah, Jesus. I pray everybody is super blessed, guys. As usual, guys, if we can get 1,000 likes up in the stream, I'll be giving away $500 of USDT. Let me fix the hat in here, guys. Let's make sure we can see Charizard. Shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to Burning Hearts Ministries and Missions. I was short, now I'm leaning long. Shout out to Christian Lay. Into the Cosmos is long now. Well, guys, I do have to say I am currently in a long trade, guys. Gave the setup this morning in the VIP Discord, and I took the long, guys. So I'm currently in that long right now. Shout out to everybody in the Discord who took this long. It was a quick move, guys. It was a quick move. But it happened. We were looking for the CDW. I wanted to see bullish divergences on that 6-minute time frame. And when we come over to our 6-minute time frame, we take a look at what we saw. We saw the bullish divergences, right? That is the entry signal to the trade. And of course, you know, those juicy, if we go even to the 12-minute time frame, we can see that we also had bullish divergences forming. Honestly, maybe even on the 20-minute time frame, we might be getting some pretty bullish divergences forming right here. Pretty dang interesting, to be honest with you guys. And let me just check something real quick here, guys. Yeah, we're getting a move up here, y'all. We're getting a move up. So, yeah. Pretty interesting. Pretty dang interesting. Let's pop into the chat, guys, and see who else is in here. Shout out to Robert Bonar. Shout out to Prepping for War. Shout out to Thor. Shout out to this Islamic guy. All right, y'all. Edgar Para, what is going on, bro? CPI core is in December. Well, here's what we got today, guys. Core PCE price index. The news just came out, actually bearish for the dollar. News just came out bearish for the dollar. If we check out the dollar, when the news did come out, the dollar had a pretty big pump, and now it's slowly coming on down. When we compare that to the corn, when the news came out, Bitcoin had a pretty epic dump and is now slowly coming back up here. And yeah, basically, guys, right now, these are my thoughts on Bitcoin. If you were watching the live stream yesterday, man, this volatility is crazy, man. This volatility is crazy. So 2 days ago, guys, we were looking for a short from this zone up here, right? We were looking for that short. We were looking for it for a long time, right? The short setup given in the VIP Discord all the way back on November 24th, we were looking to short from that area. And then even again yesterday morning, we were looking at that zone for our bearish confirmations, right? We wanted to see good old Sam Bankman-Fried upside down. We wanted to see those red nipples getting lower and lower as the price was getting higher and higher into our key area of resistance. And if we take a look at what happened here, we can see that price absolutely came right into our area of resistance. And look at the bearishness, okay? Look at the market Cipher B coming down as we put that high in. This is the 24-minute time frame, guys. Whenever we see the money flow and the momentum waves getting lower as we come up into a key area of resistance, that is typically a very juicy short signal. And right now, I just do want to point out the fact, guys, that we have put in a high, we put in a low, we put in a lower high, and now we've officially put in a lower low here. We have not, however, changed market structure in the sense that we have not now come down below the low that we have at 16,687. So here is what I'm really looking at. Right now, clearly we are in a sideways range, right? We are clearly in a sideways range. If we make a low that comes down below 16,700, that officially, to me, is now switching into bearish market structure because we have our low, our high, our higher low, our higher high. Now we have our low, Okay, this is still a higher low now. We put in our first lower high. For an official change in market structure, we need to now come below this low. We could look at this in a number of ways. This whole thing could be a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, it could be a head and shoulders pattern. Now currently, guys, I still am holding the short from up here. Okay, I'm still holding that short. I did take more profit down here. And the reason I took profit down here, guys, is because it was a level of support that we were looking at, right? If ever I'm looking to take a long, right? And by the way, if you want to join the VIP Discord, guys, where I post these trade setups, now that it's the winter time, I am going to be trading more altcoins and stuff like that. You could go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. We gave the long setup from the bottom of the range, guys, from 15,450. We gave the short setup from 17,275. Gave the long setup from the bounce we're getting right now. All these setups given in advance, guys, so it's just an educational Discord. By the way, today we are doing games in the VIP Discord. We will be giving away multiple $500 USDT prizes. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. We're doing that at 3 p.m. That's in about 5 hours, okay? That is in about 5 hours. So, we had the news come out. This news, guys, basically, it's the change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers, not including gas and food. So if the actual is greater than the forecast, that is good for the US dollar. Right? I guess you guys can't really see because my head's in the way, right? Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so if the actual is greater than the forecast, that's good for the currency. We can see that the actual was 0.2% and the forecast was 0.3% and the previous was 0.5%. So this is very bearish for the dollar, but it's bullish for Bitcoin. Now, just on the surface here, what has happened? The dollar has gotten a move up, starting to get a move down. Typically, when these news events come out, it just causes volatility, period. And then when things kind of settle down, we get the real move, okay? So we did have that news come out, and let's really just let's see what happens here, guys. Let's see what happens here. I have taken a TP1 on the Bitcoin long. All right, I've hit a TP1. I've hit actually a few TPs on this trade here. I've locked in profits quick on this one, guys, because it's definitely not something that you would want to mess around with on a scalp like this, right? On a scalp like this. And then once we lock in a TP1, we can go to another. We can yeah. What am I saying here? I don't know what I'm saying here, but anyway, guys, make sure to go check me out on Twitter. Yeah, go check me out on Twitter, guys. Follow me on Twitter. And 1 second, guys, bear with me. I have to see what is going on here. Alrighty. Sorry guys, I'm a little discombobulated this morning because I wasn't going to go live. And then we started to get some volatility and I said, you know what? Let's just do it. Alright, so let's talk about the levels of support and resistance that we have above and below us. So, something interesting, y'all, is we do have, if we're going to get more of a retracement to the upside, the area that I would be looking at for potentially finding resistance right now is going to be this zone right here. Alright? If we're going to get more upside, this is the area that I would be looking for a rejection from. And the reason for that is because we always want to, whenever we get like a strong move down or up, if we're assuming that the trend is going to continue, we look for a retracement into that zone in between the Fibonacci golden pocket and the 618. Sorry, the golden pocket and the 786, right? Because that is where we're most likely to get some kind of a rejection from. Now, to the downside right now, the most important area of support that I think we have is going to be this right here. Now, I was talking about this a little bit yesterday, but if we take the Fibonacci from the most recent low that we put in to the high, we can see that we do have this 16,700, 16,600 area of support. So the two most local areas of support and resistance that I am currently looking at right now are going to be these right here. We've got the 16.6 level, and we could even take this down to the 786. So really it's 16.6 to 16.5. And then for resistance locally, it's going to be that 17.1-ish area right there. Now, we do have a lot of other confluences here, guys, because remember, yesterday we were talking about the Carl from the Moon technical analysis, which was that we have a head and shoulders pattern here, guys. We do have a head and shoulders right here. We have our left shoulder. We've got our head. And then we've got our left shoulder right here, right? Just a little shoulder. And so also we are coming down to retest the neckline of this head and shoulders if we come into this zone just below us. So if this is going to be a legitimate breakout and we're going to see higher prices here, I want to see actually, it would be actually pretty dang healthy, right? It would be pretty healthy if we came down just to sniff the retest of that head and shoulders. I mean, give or take 50 cents, right? But I would really like to come down and just get a nice little sniff from this area, right? Let's take a look at the higher time frames, see if this is likely or not. So on the daily time frame, guys, although things are looking bullish, the VWAP is starting to point down. The momentum wave is starting to potentially cross over. So that means there is actually more room for downside here. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, what do we see? We can see that we did print a bearish wave here. We printed a bearish wave. The VWAP wanted to curve up and give us another green dot, but it failed to do so. Okay? If we start to see this 4-hour money flow getting lower like this, that is actually going to cause me to lose hope in a bullish scenario. If we look at the 1 hour, what do we see? We see right now something very bearish. We see upside down uneven butt cheeks right here. Okay, upside down uneven butt cheeks looking like this, but upside down. Okay, where we have the left butt cheek nice and big, lots of juice inside, the gravy is flowing out, and that right butt cheek over here much smaller than the left one. There must be some kind of muscular imbalance. Somebody is not squatting with proper form, not deadlifting with proper form. It's going to lead to a move to the downside. Sam Bankman-Fried, also upside down man boob pattern. The money flow was getting lower. The man boobs were getting lower, and the price was getting higher. Not very good. And then what we see right here, what we got this morning, was a bearish trigger wave on market Cipher B with continued money flow to the downside. Typically, guys, this is a very serious top signal, okay? Typically, this is a very serious top signal. This is toppy more often than not, and this does absolutely have the potential to bring us down lower than this neckline. This could be a fake out. You know, I was a little bit more bullish yesterday, but now that we have like this, you know, this inability to make a higher high, if we don't hold support here, right? Because here's how we have to look at this market structure. Inverse head and shoulders, but we break out and now we're forming this range, right? Some people might call this a bull flag, but this is really a range, right? So if we start making now a lower low and we're going to lose this green box here and change market structure, then I assume we're going to actually come back down to the low of this range, right? Because typically, I mean, essentially what we've done here, if we remove this head and shoulder pattern, I'm sorry to remove it, I know it's very beautiful, but really what we've done, guys, is we've just come to the high of the range up here with very bearish signals. And so if we can't hold this green box at 16.5 to 16.6, then it only makes sense, guys, that we come back down to the lows around that $15,400 area. And so if we're going to do that, and we're going to come back down lower, then the next major area of support that I have is around that $15,500 area. So potentially the short trade that I'm in right now, guys, and you know, I was saying this yesterday, but this short trade really could be a nice swing down to the low of the range, right? So I have taken a little more profit out of the short when we came down to here, but I'm actually planning on holding it, the rest of it, until we come back down to this zone, right? I have a few TPs along the way, but I plan to hold it down to this zone. So I'm actually still in that short. I'm still in it, guys. Let's see if I could pull it up here. Yeah, here. Yeah, so this is it. Still in it. You can see I've taken a little bit. Actually, no, this is not it. Hang on. Wait, is that it? I'm sorry, guys. I can't really see too well today. Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. I cannot see too well today, guys. So you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm trying a new light setup in here, and it's messing with my eyes. So this is still the short. You can see I have taken out some more profits from it, okay, and I'm just gonna let that thing kind of ride until we come down to the lows, man. I'm just gonna let that thing ride until we come down to the lows. Why not? Why not? You know. One hour does look like potentially we could have some more room to the downside. However, we do also have to be aware, and I am aware, which is one of the reasons why I am technically in that long still, is because we have this, right? We have the bullish div potentially forming on the hour, but I have to say it looks more bearish than bullish, guys. It definitely looks more bearish than bullish for Bitcoin. Coming back to the dollar, guys, the dollar is starting to get another little move up here. Let's check out an order flow chart and kind of see what happened when New York opened here for Bitcoin. I haven't actually taken a look, so we're going to pop open what has happened here. Yeah, so when we got that big move down, guys, we had a big decrease of open interest. We got that chickens drinking water, very, very nice. And then we basically came up and we've rejected from the VWAP. Let's go to a lower time frame and see what else we can see here. What is happening in the moment right now? So we've come up here and we rejected from VWAP. Once rejecting from VWAP, we have a lot of longs that opened up here, close out, taking profits. I also hit a TP there. And now we have some shorts opening up. Okay, now we have some shorts opening up. So what we do have to be aware of right now, guys, is this. Let's come back to the Bitcoin chart. If we're going to get continued movement to the upside here, just locally, right, what we have to look at is this. All right, let's remove some of this TA. Let's go to a lower time frame, and let's look at this price action here and see what has to happen, what has to hold if we want to see more upside. Okay, so the context, guys, is that we have come down to the low right here, basically around these lows. We did get a chickens drinking water from these lows right down here. And so if we want to see more upside here, what I would like to see is a retest of the area in between the golden pocket and the 786, which is going to be between 16,800 and 16,830. So we have this $30 zone right here. What we want to see is we want to see some kind of a trigger wave forming here, like this. And what I would also want to see, y'all, is if we are going to be looking now at an order flow chart like coinalize.net. Let's take a look at good old coinalize.net. I would also like to see some kind of absorption happening here, right? What that means is this. We want to see this CVD actually come lower than what we had down here as we come down into that zone between 16,800 and 16,830. You know what, guys? I'm going to have to move this Gonna have to move this new light that I got here. It's too much. Can't really see too well. So now I have worse view on the camera, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull our fib from the low to the high, and then draw a box around this area right here. And if we want to see higher, guys, then we're gonna have to get a retest from this box, and we want to see this chart look like this. This is going to show us absorption of shorts there. And we also want to see continued movement up with the CVD. Now, guys, if all this stuff, all these fibs and levels and CVD, if it makes no sense, check out the course at jasoncaspertrading.com. This course will give you the knowledge and the skills you need to become a more confident, profitable trader. Because it will give you that point A to point B system, right? So that you can have a plan, right? All these pivots so far in this range, from the low, had the plan to take that long. From the short high, had a plan to take that short. Even scalps this morning have a plan in advance. The course will teach you how to do that. It'll teach you how to use tools like Coinalyze.net to identify absorption on a chart, how to mark all the key levels, how I use Market Cipher to enter trades, all that good stuff, guys. JasonCasperTrading.com. Guys, make sure to like the video. We got like 400 people in here, less than 100 likes. Make sure to like the video. I hate the color fib. I do hate the colored fib. I really do hate it. How many TPs do I put for swings and scalps? It really depends, guys. If it's a scalp, I always TP 50% very, very, very quick. If it's a swing trade, I usually TP 50% not as quick and then let the rest kind of ride, right? Shout out to Memory Man. Memory Man, good to see you, bro. Memory Man says the course is awesome. I'm glad you like it. 3-day ETH looks so bullish, says Infante. We might take a look at it. How long have I been trading? I've been trading since 2000, and I've been trading seriously since 2018. But I started dabbling in 2016 when I first got into cryptocurrency and investing. But I've been trading very, very, very seriously since 2020. I've been trading seriously since 2018, and I've been trading just kidding since 2016. Put a teenager in is bullish on the Dixie. We're going to take a look at the Dixie and the S&P 500 right now, actually, because I think that's going to help us. Besides, everyone is bullish now. So let's talk about Faris Al-Faris. Everyone is bullish now, and that scares the beep and hint for a bear trap. I'm sorry. Not really sure what you're saying there because I don't see the first comment that you made. If I've been on farm run, nah, guys, I'm not drunk. I'm hyped up on coffee, and it's just been a weird morning for me, to say the least. So I'm a little discombobulated. Wasn't even necessarily planning to do a live stream. Then decided, what the heck. All right, so for Thor's sake, shout out to Thor. We are going to take a look at the weekly Market Cipher B because it does look kind of bullish, but it also looks kind of bearish. Now, the reason why I say this looks kind of bearish is because of the money flow. I think there's still room to the downside here. Now, I thought that this could have been a legitimate bottom right here, but because this has not been a bottom, it makes me think that the bottom is not in yet. Because if we go back and we look historically at the other bull cycles, I'm going to go to Bitstamp right now. Check out some historical data here, right? Historically, these other bull markets, these other bear markets have given us a, well, at least the 2018 bear market gave us a very, very deep momentum wave, right? And I feel like because we're coming down lower with money flow, coming lower, this divergence, I don't like it as much. I would rather see a momentum wave come down lower now. And it might take us a while to get there, I'm not really sure. But this is just my bias right now, but because we didn't find support at the 786, now I'm looking a little bit lower. And specifically, actually, I'm looking, we're already coming into the area where we typically do find the bottoms for these bear markets. So let's put on our 786 and our 886. We can see historically that we always come down into the zone in between the 786 and the 886. We're in that zone literally right now. We're literally right now in that zone. We do have bullish div on the weekly. It could, I mean, this could be a bottom, but because the money flow is getting lower, I just wouldn't be surprised if we do something like this. We just get one more last drop down there. And maybe the weekly does something like this where we get a just kidding and then get a floppy butt cheek. A wave that looks very similar to this one, right? This wave, it looked like it was going to curve up for a while. We even got multiple green dots, but then there was the just kidding capitulation, and we came down much lower. So I'm feeling like that's going to happen here. And one of the main reasons why is because we haven't come down to any key areas of support, right? Key support was the retest of the previous bull market all-time high, which we already did. But now our next key support is going to be the retest of the 2019 high, which we have not hit yet, right? We have not hit that yet. And so that's my thoughts on the weekly. Is there bullish potential? Absolutely. But for me, I'm not going to take it seriously. I'm not going to take it seriously unless we come above my very key level of 19,150. Because 19,150 is the very high volume node that we put in from the previous range from June. So basically, well, on ByBit, this is not ByBit, this is Bitstamp, but I trade the ByBit levels, and we don't need the high volume node. This is still the golden pocket Fibonacci retracement from that high to this low. If we put on our 618 and our 0.65, and we go on off of log mode, this 19,150 area right here, this is key, right? This is super, super key for me. I'm open to a move up here because I'm looking actually at this as a potential sideways range, right? I'm looking at this as a potential range. So unless we can reclaim 19,150 and retest the support, I'm expecting that weekly to roll over. I'm expecting that weekly to roll over. I'm expecting that we don't actually print that green dot. I could be wrong, but looking at the daily time frame, right, I could kind of almost see that happening here. Right, I could kind of almost see that happening here. Even if we get a move up to the 19,150 area, even if this momentum wave comes up higher, it would still be a bearish trigger wave on the daily that would bring us down a little bit lower, in my opinion, right? So for me, I'm not too stoked on the weekly. I'm not as stoked as I was when we were holding the 786. Once we were holding that 786, I was a little bit more hopeful probably than I should have been. But yeah, let's pop back over to ByBit here. And let's pop back into the chat real quick. And then we'll take a look at DXY and stuff like that. Got to take out that 15,400. I agree, Royal Fresh. I really agree that we have to, that bottom is So Into the Cosmos says, stop the nonsense, Chet. Bottom in, long only. All right, man. Well, hey, you know, here's something I would say, right? It's possible, Into the Cosmos. It's possible that the bottom's in, right? It's possible. But if we get married to a market sentiment, if we're wrong, it's setting us up for losses only, right? We have to be able to stay neutral as possible, right? I am taking good long trades and taking good short trades right now. Taking profits and then holding the position because I understand there's a chance the bottom's in. I'm currently in 2 longs right now, but I'm also in 2 shorts. And I'm in a local long, a local short. I'm in a swing long and a swing short, right? So I'm prepared either way for the bottom to be in. But that doesn't mean we can't look for good trades, right? We're coming up to 19,150. There's probably a 90% chance that I'm going to short that. Even if we come up above that level eventually, it's still going to make for a good short, right? Still going to make for a good short. Shout out to Crypto Crank who says Chainlink has bottomed. That's a good potential, right? Best crypto sites to trade with the demo account. ByBit you can. MEXC I think you can do it on for sure. What am I thinking locally right now? So locally right now, this is basically what I'm thinking. Things are looking a little bit more bearish to me than bullish, but locally, I am thinking that if we lose this zone right here, basically 16.6 to 16.5, then we come down much lower, because this is going to officially now change market structure on the higher term time frame, right? Right now, this is the important low to hold if we want higher locally. This is the retest of the resistance, right? The retest of the resistance that we had right here. This is the Fibonacci golden pocket retracement from the last low to the high, right around this area. Depending on where we pull it, guys, we could pull multiple fibs, right? This is actually key support for me. I will be looking for longs in this area. Key resistance for me right now is going to be the fib from the high that we put in to the low. Now, honestly, guys, I'll be honest with you. This high looks really good to me. Like, it looks like a really good high. We have not macro, but we have really good range high signals here. We have really good range high signals. And that basically means I'm prepared now for a move back down to the low of the range, which is going to be the 15,400 area, right? But those are the two key areas I'm looking at locally, right? Let's take a look now at SPX. Well, first we'll take a look at the dollar on the weekly. Now, the dollar got a dump, but the dollar also did get a CDW. I'm going to turn off some of these levels here. Let's turn off all these levels. And let's just look at this chart pretty unbiased. Okay. The dollar, you know, we have some key support just below us at 104. But we did get a CDW from this 104.680 level. And we came right into this weekly order block right here. Okay, so we had this zone right here. We had a weekly order block. We had these previous lows. We're currently getting a little bounce from it. The dollar, to me, I know a lot of people say it looks super bullish. Because it's been in such a powerful uptrend, it does look bullish, but this is the biggest retracement that we've had in a very long time, right? Since May of 2021, right? So we're talking like over a year and a half. This is the biggest retracement we've had in over a year and a half. We officially now just put in a lower low on the weekly time frame. So that's pretty significant, right? This is on the weekly time frame, and we have just put in a lower low, right? So, I mean, we put in our high, and then locally, low, lower high. We've officially now put in a lower low. That is not necessarily the most bullish thing in the world. In addition to that, the weekly time frame does have bearish divergences. The 2-weekly time frame has bearish divergences. And if I'm not mistaken, the monthly time frame also has a bearish divergence here on the monthly, guys, with the money flow actually getting lower. So we could see it's not that big of a divergence, but if we take the top to the top, we can see that the momentum waves are getting lower. And also if we take the top of the money flow, and we can see that the money flow is also getting lower as well. So that does not necessarily look super bullish. We're coming down right now to that key level, 104 on the dot. This is why is it so key? Because it's a major support resistance flip. It was resistance in 2001. It was support in 2003. It was resistance again in 2017. Resistance again in 2020. And this is just a very key support resistance flip. We have a monthly order block right in here. If we're going to lose this level, guys, that is not bullish at all for the dollar. So we have monthly bearish divergence just confirmed, guys, in November, right? So we just confirmed that bearish div in November. Look at these monthly red dots, though, guys. When the monthly red dots print, even if it's, I mean, even in this range here, these monthly red dots give us months to the downside, or at least consolidation. And this, honestly, could be very bullish for risk assets, including cryptocurrency. And if we see the Fed start to pivot, if we see them, and they're already talking about it, how they're not going to be raising interest rates as high. What are they talking about? 15 or 0.5 or 0.25 basis points, right? They were talking about 0.75 being super hawkish. Now they're coming out like a little dove. Mr. Powell, pump it Powell, pump it Powell. If they start lowering the interest rates, this could be bad for the dollar on paper, right? Bad for the dollar on paper, good for risk assets on paper, including Bitcoin. So this is definitely something to watch out for, that the dollar is looking kind of bearish. Now, we have to keep our eyes on DXY because risk assets like Bitcoin, like the stock market, typically are doing the opposite of what the dollar is doing, right? Because if the dollar is strong, people are going to keep their money in dollars. But if the dollar is weak, people are going to be putting their money into risk assets, right? That's pretty much how it works. And so the dollar is showing signs of weakness, in my opinion, and it's coinciding with the Fed getting a little bit more dovish, talking about not raising interest rates, potentially lowering interest rates, which will eventually, in my opinion, lead to the printing presses turning back on. And that will lead to the weakness of the dollar on paper, right? The reason the dollar is so strong is because the interest rates are high. It makes it a safe haven for people keeping their money in cash. But if that stops happening, people are going to put their money other places. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. So guys, S&P 500, this is the monthly chart. Let's go to the weekly. S&P 500, guys, is at a key area of resistance right now. It's at a key area of resistance. But look at this. Wow. You know, this resistance, we still continue to make higher highs here. This has not been a hard and fast rejection from this key area of resistance. I want to give a potentially bullish scenario here, guys. I want to give a potentially bullish scenario that would allow for crypto and the S&P 500 to come up while the dollar is either consolidating or coming down. All right. Right now, S&P 500, if we take a look at this potential range that we have right here, we can see that we are, in fact, and it depends on where we pull this thing from, right? It really does depend where we pull this thing from. But let's say we pull it from when we broke out of this last mini range back in November of 2020. Because November of 2020, this is like kind of where I consider like the real bull market started here, right? It was after the dust settled from the VidCo 91. We started to range here. We ranged here from September all the way to November, 2-month range put in, and then a breakout. When we look at what's happening here, we're actually coming back inside that value area. We are coming above this huge spike in volume that we have at around 39.50. 39.50, right? Huge spike in volume. And we're coming back into this value area right here. And what that means, guys, is we could see more movement to the upside. We could absolutely see more movement to the upside. In addition, now I'm not saying I'm purely bullish on this. I'm just giving a bullish case. In addition, we did get the bullish divergence on the weekly time frame. Okay, big BitBoy green dot on the weekly time frame. As we came down, it's not just some arbitrary level that we came down to when we got that big BitBoy bounce. We came down to the 0.5 Fibonacci level, and that 0.5 Fibonacci level is, especially when we're talking about traditional markets, a key level, right? More key so than crypto. We'll notice that traditional assets will respect that 0.5 fib more than crypto does. Crypto tends to respect the 618 and the 786, right? But we came down to it, to the dang dollar, guys, and we retested perfectly this mini range, this support resistance flip. And, you know, the S&P 500, I thought a number of times it was going to reject. We keep making higher highs and higher lows. Potentially, we're going to break out again, right? And if we do, then I think we need to be aware of potentially hitting some higher targets. So where now would I be looking to hit? Well, we do have the 0.5 fib coming right above us and a potential CDW at 41.25. That is possible. And then, of course, we have the golden pocket at 43.15. That's also possible, right? So 41.50 and 43.15 are two key levels that potentially we could come up to. But really, the final target that I would have would be coming back up to this 786-ish level. And why that level? Because this was resistance back in August 2021, and then it was support in November 2021. So like this November 2021, right? That was the high for Bitcoin, around the high for also for the stock market, around the low for the dollar, right? Around that low for the dollar was at the bottom of the range. And so we have this very clear support resistance flip where it was flipped from resistance into support, resistance, resistance. If we come up here again, that's a very juicy looking area of resistance. So we could get a significant move up here. And even if things are going to be bearish in the long term, we could get some kind of a relief rally up into these areas and then come down to that golden pocket area, which is another key area of support. And that would allow us to do something like this, right? That would allow us to get a momentum wave up on the weekly. And it would also allow us to get that trigger wave with the money flow continuing to get lower. So there is room for upside here. Even if we're going to maintain a macro bearish perspective, there's still room for upside on this chart. And so if the S&P 500 is going to get a move to the upside, if the dollar is going to be potentially getting a move to the downside here, well, what does that leave crypto at? Well, Bitcoin, guys, could absolutely get a move up here. Could get a move up. And I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people are looking at the potential of a real relief rally happening here that catches a lot of people off guard. And it would catch a lot of people off guard. It would catch me off guard for certain, because I am waiting for lower. But if we do get a relief rally, guys, I mean, the thing is, if we reclaim 19,150, that leaves the door for 25K wide open. Leaves the door for 25K wide open. And, you know, let's just take a look and entertain this potential here, right? Let's entertain that this is the range right here. All right, this is the weekly time frame. Let's entertain this being a range. We have this weekly order block up here. This, I know this would take months to play out, right? But we have this key support resistance flip at 30K. We have a weekly order block at 30K. Potentially, we have formed a range low, right? We've gotten a bullish deviation, and then we're going to come back into the range, come up, form a range high at around 30K, and then potentially get some kind of a rejection from there, right? Some kind of rejection. Like whenever I try and ask out a woman, she always tries to reject me. And then I get a little bit more zealous, right? I ask her, hey, will you go out with me? She says no. I get a little bit more zealous. I go right for the kiss. Doesn't work out so good, guys. Doesn't work out. Are we definitely going to go up there, guys? It depends. It depends. We can't know for certain. But if we're prepared, we can be confident like this man. Smile on the face. Hand on the hip. Maximum absorbency. If there's a big dump, he's not going to get liquidated, guys. If there's a big pump, he's not going to get liquidated. He has a plan regardless, right? That's how we need to be as traders. We need to have plans regardless. We have to have plans regardless. Yeah, so let's pop into the chat. Let's ban the hot girls in here. All right, let's ban these hot girls in the chat. Do I consider a range-bound ES? Well, S&P 500, I mean, it could be, yeah. It's absolutely. It absolutely could be range-bound, right? I mean, everything's always kind of range-bound, right? So if it is range-bound, then we would look probably to come up to the golden pocket. and form some kind of range like this, right? Because if we're range bound, then we have a nice support resistance flip right here at 4,300. 4,300, beautiful support resistance. And yeah, absolutely. And so even if it's range bound, that still allows for upside. That still allows for more upside. Because this, you know, when we're dealing with these higher term time frames, right? These higher term time frames, these patterns that we see here, they take a long time to play out, right? I mean, you know, this whole range potentially that we've been forming here, we've been in since May, right? So what are we talking about? Half a year? This is like a half year range. So within this half year, think of all the price action that's taken place. But yeah, absolutely. Could be. Shout out to Dread Mining. That's right. Incels only. Incels only, yeah. Shout out to Edgar Parra. Says that the Depends guy looks like Da Vinci. Well, he's definitely prepared, man. Da Vinci is prepared. You know why? Because he bought Bitcoin at $1. So if there's a big dump, he's still in profit. If there's a big pump, he's still in profit. He's definitely got the maximum absorbency going on. He's got the maximum absorbency for sure, Da Vinci. Shout out to Da Vinci. And also shout out to Carl from the Moon, who sponsors this channel. Me and Carl from the Moon do have a movie coming out very soon in theaters. Check it out, guys.
Hello, I would like to get a Big Mac meal.
Yeah, so that's coming out soon, guys, in theaters. You know, the thing about the hot girls, I'm talking about the bots that come in here trying to spam. But if you're a hot girl and you're in here, you're allowed. You're allowed to be in here. So Crypto R is gonna long, says I'm gonna long, bro. Yeah, whoever was asking, Royal Fresh is correct. You can paper trade on TradingView. I mean, here's the thing. In my opinion, I wouldn't long here. The long I feel was from the low. Shout out to everyone who took the long. It was a hard one to get into. I'm not gonna lie. It was a fast move. It was a fast move. But let's see what happens now. I have to say, guys, like the 12-minute time frame does look like there's more potential upside here. I know. Yeah, there is a potential head and shoulders, but look at this 12-minute time frame, guys. Bullish divergence. Money flow's starting to get a little bit thick here. Let's see if we can get a little bit more upside. Let's see if we can't get a little bit more upside here. If you identify as a girl, you're allowed to stay as well. I mean, I myself am a transracial, transgender, trans-incelled lesbian, right? So I'm a black woman who's involuntarily celibate. That's how I identify. Of course, I marketed into that long. Of course, my friend. Of course. I would never, ever, ever limit that. Never. Shout out to Brian Cowger. What is going on? Guys, make sure to like the video. Wow, we got 400 people in here. Only 200 likes. Do you know what that does to a man's self-esteem, guys? Takes me back to 618 rejecting me. It takes me back to those rejection days, guys. Shout out to Young Buck. That's true, guys. I identify, well, you know, I do have a degree. I do have a degree in trans non-binary climate emission studies. Do I see a big volume gap on Bitcoin? What do you mean a big volume gap? Are you talking about this right here? Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty big gap, and we have a golden pocket right there. I mean, this 16,500 level, guys, is a pretty juicy one, right? We've got, wow, look at that buying tail. But we do have single prints down here, guys. We do have single prints down here. You know, this is still that same profile. We have the initial balance right down here, and then bam! It's a pretty interesting profile, if you ask me. Right? Now, I'm not big into profiling, but it's a pretty strange profile. Just a normal 16-year-old wants to know, what is Bitcoin? Who knows, man? Who knows what the heck Bitcoin is, right? It's something that we trade to make other fiat monies, but some of us hope that someday it'll replace fiat monies. Right? It's an asset. It's a risk asset. It's a speculative risk asset using blockchain. It's supposed to be decentralized, peer-to-peer, but most people don't use it in that way. Most people use it through centralized exchanges, right? Most people take their crypto and give it to the bank man, and the bank man, I don't know what the bank man does with it. Why don't we ask him, what do you do with it, bank man? Bank man's given some interviews now. He's been giving some interviews these days. I've watched one of them. Didn't really ask any good questions. I know there's a few more interviews out there. There's a few more interviews. But yeah, that's what the corn is, the Bitcoin. Pro tip, says Thor, if a girl in a hot bikini DMs you about crypto, ignore him. That's a good tip, man. That's a good tip. Between 17,100 and 18,900. Let's check it out. Let's check out that volume gap. Let's go to a higher term time frame here. We'll go to the daily. Oh yeah, I mean, of course there's a volume gap, right? We don't have much volume there at all. Yeah, so that's yeah, oh yeah, there's a volume gap. That's why that 19,125-ish area is so juicy, right? Because that's the high volume node. Yeah, so we really could get another move up, guys. I mean, we really could. I don't know what the heck the price is gonna do. That's not even how I trade. I just look for good entries, and once I take the entries, I say, where is this probably going to go? And then I set my take profits based on support and resistance. I always lock in a profit, and then I shoot for those levels, right? So I'm in two longs right now. I'm in a long from the low. I'm in a local long from right here. I will be trying to hold both of those longs until 19K, because why the heck not? But both of those longs already have profits locked in. I'm in two shorts. I'm in a short from right here, and I'm in a short from somewhere up here. All right? I've taken profit on both of those shorts, but I'm planning to take profits under 14K for both of them. Right? Because I don't know what the heck it's gonna do. And I mean, this is like, there's a 1,000 ways to trade, guys. But for me, the way I like to do it is I just like to look for setups that I know are high probability, and then lock in a profit and then go for the gold. Because eventually one of those trades is gonna go gold, right? One of those trades is going to go gold, guys. Like, we can't really see it on the daily time frame, but I did short this, and it went gold. I didn't know it was going to go gold, guys. It went gold. So it's actually still the short that I'm in right now, but I compounded it somewhere around this area, around the 18,400-ish area. So I think my combined entry is like 18,700, give or take. Yeah. 18,650. 18,650. Now, guys, I'm long on AVAX right now, as you probably just saw. It's a speculative position, guys. It's a speculative position, but I'm in it. So we'll see what happens with it. Do I think the market makers will let me schlong like this forever? Well, here's the thing, man. Here's the truth. You want to know the truth? I don't know, man. I don't know. But one of the things here, like, I know market makers are real, right? But if we're looking for good trade setups, we're trading with the market makers, right? That's why we look for things like CDWs, right? Like, that's why we look for the stop hunts. Like, that should be your entry, right? The long setup was a stop hunt. The short setup was also a stop hunt, right? We already hit into the golden pocket. We came down. It's like, all right, let's short the stop hunt. Let's short. The market maker is going to try and take the liquidity and then push the price down, right? Well, let's trade with the market maker, right? I don't even use the term market maker too much. The whales, the market makers, whatever you want to call them, the liquidity hunters, the people filling big positions, the people who secretly work for the exchanges, I don't know what they are, right? But if you have a plan to take trades that are going to be with the market maker, you're good, right? The long setup from this morning, what was I looking to do? I was looking to take out all these lows. Everyone who had their stop losses below this beautiful rounded bottom, change of market structure, low, high, higher, low, higher, high. I'm like, all right, screw all these people. Let's stop them all out, and that's where we're going to long, right? And that's where I popped into the long. So I don't know if they're going to let me do it, but if you schlong from the areas where there's been a liquidity grab, that's a good position to be. Right? And then if you take profits, right? Let's say, for example, I'm short from here and I'm long from here, right? Both of these trades have a take profit and stop loss at the entry. So if the market makers want to stop me out of my short, well, good. I'm already in a long. I've already made money on the short. Now I just make more money, right? Or if the market makers want to stop me out of my long, well, guess what? I'm already short. Already take a profit on my long, stop loss to entry. So either way, regardless of what they do, it'll work out for me because I'm in a win-win situation, right? The worst case scenario right now is that I made a profit. So I don't know if we're allowed to talk about these on stream, Edgar. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about those types on stream. Yeah, let's talk about it. We could talk about AVAX for a little bit. Yeah, make sure to like the video, guys. Make sure to follow me over on Twitter. Shout out to Joker, by the way. Joker was, if you guys want some good TA, follow Joker. Follow me on Twitter, guys, at Jason_Casper. I'm giving away $1,000 of Bitcoin on here. All you have to do is follow me on Twitter, follow these instructions, and you're good to go. Also, JasonCasperTrading.com if you're interested in the course. Also, Patreon.com/JasonCasper for the VIP Discord, where we post levels, multiple live streams every day, trade setups in advance, all that good stuff, guys. Yeah, let's take a look at AVAX quickly. Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. I'm flopping and groping with my windows here. It's a little bit more difficult to use this streaming software than you might imagine. I'm sure other people are much better at it than I am. I'm not very technologically advanced here. Alright guys, so good old AVAX, right? I am a little bit bullish on it. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little bit bullish. Here's why. Let's go to the daily time frame on AVAX. We've got this very interesting level here. This daily level. This daily order block right here at about 44 bucks, right? Also, we have a range high, what I would consider a range high, at $37, right? Now, what we've been doing here is we are coming down, dipping down into this key area. Let's put it on log mode, okay? Right now, AVAX is dipping down into this key area. This key area of support, okay? Let's take a look right here. This area of support is going all the way back to this strange 2020 consolidation, right? This has been support many times, guys. This zone has been support many times. It was resistance in 2020, support in 2021, support again in 2021, right? Now we're coming down to this zone of support. In addition to that, okay? In addition, we have a bullish divergence on these higher term time frames, even the weekly. Bullish div, right? Nothing on the monthly, but on the weekly for certain, bullish div. On the 3-day, bullish divergences forming, money flow getting higher. Okay? Money flow is getting higher. In addition to that, we are forming this potentially bullish falling wedge pattern. Right? So we're coming down to a key resistance, forming a bullish pattern with bullish divergences. Sorry, coming down to key support, bullish pattern, bullish divs. Now take a look at this, right? Let's take a look at this. Right now, at the very least, the golden pocket lines up perfectly with the trend line, right? So this could be a nice potential move. A nice, this could be a nice move. Like, even if we long right here, right? This could be a nice move of about, you know, 35%. That's not too juicy. But here's the thing, if we break out of this, right? Let's say that we do break out of this thing. If we take the target from the high to the low, right, give or take, and we just move this thing on top of the breakout, that's actually going to take us up to our range high. That's going to take us back up to the range high, which, by the way, that range high is a key support resistance flip. And so potentially now we do have a move up to here, which is a nice 190% move to the upside. And we also have that daily order block a little bit above that, which is a nice 250% move to the upside. So potentially we could get a nice move up here, right? Speculative indeed, right? Speculative. But nonetheless, it's a risk I'm taking right now with good risk management. So it is what it is. But yeah, I like AVAX. I like the way it looks. It looks kind of bullish. If this was not a bear market, I would be selling the farm to long AVAX right now. This is the kind of stuff you look for when it's altcoin season, right? When Bitcoin gets that first big old pumperoni, then all of a sudden the YouTubers start making videos, top 3 altcoins, 1000x gains in 2023. Click on those videos, open mouth thumbnails and everything. Chickens and roosters in the picture, purple and blue eyes, you know? Kind of like this, right? Kind of like this kind of deal. You know, just weird, crazy. You know, for some reason, we know we should never take financial advice from people like this, but we do anyway. You know, shout out to Joker. Joker, man, I see you on Twitter, bro. But I can't read half your stuff because it's not in English. So, yeah, people know they shouldn't take advice from this type of fellow, but they do anyway. Why? It's a bull market. Crypto's the next hot thing. All these people became billionaires with altcoins. What are the next? Right? We start seeing videos like that. That is honestly when you can trade stuff like this, right? Or even trade the breakout of it. But yeah, I'm kind of feeling this. You know, admittedly, it's super speculative. If something bearish happens in the market, then hey, I will get absolutely wrecked. But you know, good risk management, right? Shout out to Peter Dobrev. Kind of take a look at BNB. I just posted all my BNB stuff in the Discord. What is that, Young Buck? I'm actually a Targaryen. I'm not sure what that is. But speaking of thumbnails, guys, if you check out my YouTube channel, I'm going live later today with Evan Aldo. Go to my channel. Go to the lives. Make sure to check out the live stream later today with Evan Aldo. But check this thumbnail, guys. I don't know if you can tell. You probably can't tell. No, I don't think you can tell. Nah, you can't tell. Dang. You can't tell, but I put a Bitcoin in my eye. I put a purple Bitcoin in my eye. You can't tell. Dang, what a bummer. You know, I thought it was an artistic genius. I really did. Let's see if I can find the picture. No, I don't think I can. That's a bummer. Yeah, actually now you can tell. You can tell. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Now, is that not artistic genius or what? Now, make sure to go check out the live, guys. It's going to be good. Evan Aldo's a good trader. He's a swing trader. He's a low-key, chill swing trader. You know? Oh, Game of Thrones. See, I don't watch Game of Thrones. I ain't got time for that, you know? All right, let's check out Link then. Let's check out Link. Crypto Crank says if I like that AVAX, let's check out the Link. Let's check it out. You know, believe it or not, I actually I hold a lot of Chainlink, and I've been buying a lot of Chainlink lately. The reason I like Chainlink so much, guys, is because the World Economic Forum loves Chainlink, right? And I know some people are like, Jason Casper, don't you know the World Economic Forum is evil? Why would you like a coin that they like? Well, you think the Federal Reserve are angels? Why do you like their coin? Why do you like their fiat debt notes? Right? You know what I'm saying? If the WEF wants to use it for stuff, man, we might as well make some gains on it, right? Play the game, guys. Play the game. Play the game. Man, I would love for Link just to come down to like $5. I don't see a bullish div on Link. But it's definitely ranging. And it looks like momentum's getting higher with money flow. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know what to make of this. I've done some TA on Link in the past. So, Crypto Crank, what makes you ultra bullish on a Link setup right now? Is it the hidden bullish divergences that we have coming on here? The hidden bull divs? Is it the 2-day? I just I am bullish on Chainlink for sure. And I'm accumulating Chainlink. I've been accumulating Chainlink in this range for sure. I've been accumulating it on spot. I have a pretty big bag, but I don't know if I would enter into a leverage trade on it right now. Just because I don't necessarily see it having a soon move up, but it could. So, Crypto Crank, you know, what's your theory behind this, bro? Right, Zelda: A Link to the Past, man. That was a good game. You know what I'm saying? For Super Nintendo. And then they remade it for Game Boy Advance, I'm pretty sure. You know, that was my jam back in the day. Did I long AVAX current price? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Put a tenner in. Says massive Link short for me. So okay, double bottom. Oh, so you're already long on Link, basically. You already longed it then. So you're already in the juicy profits. Like, you longed it from the bottom of the range, basically. Yeah, so you're in a good position. Yeah. If we take out those lows, I would long Link margin leverage. I mean, if we come down to like $5, oh man, you can rest assured I would want a long Link. I would long Link. That's what I think. I would long Link. What do you think? Has ETHW any use or potential? I'm not really sure. When I market snipe levels, do I use a TR chart / buying selling tails? I don't, Surface 9, but you know who does? I'm pretty sure KPAX does. And I'm pretty sure Boyan does. But nah, I just look to see if there's divs on market Cipher and to reclaim the level, man. That's really it. I mean, if you take a look at my entry for it, it wasn't that great. 16,852. 16,852 was my long entry on Bitcoin. And if we go in and take a look, I didn't long until we reclaimed the level, man. I did not long until we reclaimed that level. So it was a smaller position size because I needed a looser stop loss for it. But you know, I did not long until we closed that candle, man. And I'm pretty sure I was looking at the 6-minute as well. I was looking at that 6-minute candle, so I waited for that wick to close. Then I was in drawdown for a minute. So, but it's like I saw this happening at the time, and it looked pretty dang good. Saw the 12-minute potential for it. The 3-minute was looking pretty dang good to me. At the time that we lost that level, the 3-minute was looking pretty dang good to me. In fact, the money flow was getting higher, and this 3-minute thing I thought was going to be a div. It came down lower, but I thought it was going to be a div. And then what made me actually stay in the trade was I had my invalidation was actually going to be below the 786. But we came and we bounced perfectly from the 382. Perfectly from it. So that was a relief, to say the least. But I'm not typically looking at a TR chart to enter a trade. I'm typically just looking at the price action and the bigger term picture. But I will look absolutely to see if we have decrease of open interest. Because if I see something like this, big decrease of open interest with those bullish divs, for me, that's confirmation. That's how I do it. There's a portrait of Link in your home office? That's cool, man. We have monthly green dot confirmed on Link. That's very, very interesting. Very interesting. All right, Crypto Crank. Binance chart looks the same as the FTT chart before the crash. Yeah, guys, I'll be honest with you. Like, I don't trust CZ or CZ if you're from, like, the UK or Australia or whatever. I don't trust them, man. I don't trust Binance. I don't trust any of these exchanges. So, Freestyle Friday, if we can get 500 likes. Guys, if we can get 400 likes, then I will maybe do a freestyle when we get to 500 likes. So, yes, I am using lower leverage lately. I mean, Bitcoin's a low price, guys. I mean, when we were up in the 50s and 60s, I was using 80x leverage like it was no big deal. But the thing is now, $1,000 move back then was only like 1.5%. So I could use 50x leverage and have, like, you know, 50x leverage, have like a $1,500, $1,700 play space, a safe space. You know, a safe space that makes me feel good about myself. If somebody says something that I don't agree with, I can go hide in my safe space. But now that Bitcoin is cheaper, it's much more cisgendered, closed-minded, white, straight, married, has kids. The kids are not transgendered. It's very offensive, honestly. And so you have to use lower leverage because the spaces are not as safe. You could get liquidated. You know what I'm saying? I just don't trust any exchanges. I don't trust Binance, right? Didn't CZ talk at the World Economic Forum anyway? I mean, I know that's the thing. Like, if you're the biggest crypto exchange in the world, you're going to have to be now dealing with governments as regulations come in. But any kind of entity that can centralize crypto that's supposed to be decentralized, in my opinion, can't be trusted, right? And just my own personal experience, like, because of crypto regulations, I've not been able to use Binance since 2020. Shout out to Surface 9. Yeah, you know, it is crazy. It is crazy about the TA respecting traditional markets, especially those massive, massive moves, like decade-long moves. Really royal fresh. Interesting. That is interesting. Do I have any thoughts on Gala? I do. First of all, I like the apples, the Gala apples. But secondly, I'm not very bullish on it. I'm not very bullish on Gala. I don't see anything about this that makes me feel bullish. I don't see any kind of previous support level that we're coming to. I don't see any kind of bullish pattern that we're forming. I mean, I guess you could make the case that this is a wedge here. I just don't like the fact that I have no historical data here. I mean, I don't like the way this looks at all, honestly. I don't really like the way this looks. I don't have enough data, I suppose, is the issue here. I would have liked if we were like holding this. Is there an older exchange for Gala? Let's see. I was looking at this earlier on Binance. Nah. When did Gala even come into existence? I don't know. Let's check out Kraken. Nah. I don't know. I was looking at it. Nothing really stood out to me about it. I mean, you know, the AVAX was looking pretty juicy. Phantom is looking honestly pretty good. I think Phantom might... I'm looking for a long on Phantom if we come down to a key support. I posted the setup in the Discord this morning. Dash could be good. A speed coin. Do I ever use Gon's principles or charting techniques? No, I don't. And I have not read any of his stuff either. But I know I should. But I have not. Okay, Gala is new. Okay, Legends Have It is thinking of 2024 long term. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're loading up your bags, DCA, I mean, then hey, you know, do what you want. Do what you want. So. But yeah, guys, I'm actually gonna have to head out. But thank you so much for being here, and make sure to stop back later. In about 2 hours, we're going live with Evan Aldo. And then in about 4 hours, we're going to be doing VIP Discord games. Guys, it's going to be a good time. But God bless you all. In Jesus' name, I do pray that you are all super blessed. Have a wonderful weekend. And receive this blessing, guys. The purpose of this blessing is that the Creator God would place His name upon you and bless you. And it goes like this in Hebrew. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom b'shem Yeshua HaMashiach Elohei Yisrael, which in English means, may the Lord bless and protect you. May He shine light upon you and have grace upon you. May He turn His face towards you and give you wholeness and peace in the name of Jesus, the Messiah, the God of Israel. Thank you guys so much. God bless you all. I love you all. Peace.